I think today peace is one of the most significant process that which is going on in our country, and it should be solved because we have been having war for centuries in Afghanistan, and everybody, I'm sure, is tired of war, even Taliban, because this war is never going to end, because we see every day practically that for thousands of years we have been having war in Afghanistan, but there is no changes except the situation is getting worse every day. So the message that I want to tell today to the people who are now supporting and working on these issues is that we have been having before also some kinds of for example, a process of peace in Afghanistan, but still they have got no result because of the lacking and deficient of something. And that something is that today the people who should sit together, assemble and work in this issue is not leaders of Afghanistan. They should be the people, because the matter is that today the people who are fighting together, they are not some kinds of political things. This is just because our people don't accept each other, just because of discrimination. If our people is going to sit together, if these people, if these tribes and nations are going to sit together and solve this problem of discrimination together and accept each other to live peacefully in a country, I'm sure the process is going to be solved just in a month. But this process that our leaders is now stepping up and forwarding, it's not going to work, because we have done it before also. So I think these people, I also studied the background of Taliban. I have studied many books about Taliban, that they are not strangers, they are just our people, they are people who have been living in Afghanistan. And also one of the other thing we have to do is to develop the process of education in Afghanistan. Afghanistan in Afghanistan is living more than 6 or 7 million uneducated people today, which they have no idea what education is, or how important it is, or how it works. So therefore, if somebody is uneducated, it is completely clear that he got no idea even what in the world is going on, or what kind of person he is. So if somebody be educated, I'm sure they will never fight. So they know that humans are born to love, to accept each other, and to live together. So why are we now getting separated and getting far from each other just because of these differences? So there are just some kinds of excuses. There are some kinds of works that we are going to get separated from each other. So my advice is that if these kinds of people, uneducated people, be educated, I'm sure the process will keep going on, and in a very short time we will succeed to have the process of peace done in Afghanistan. But Taliban, who are now fighting in Afghanistan, they were just uneducated people who were deprived of education one day. So at the beginning of the start of the government of Taliban in Afghanistan, there were just a few people, means the beginning of the formation of, or the shape of governments, Taliban's government. So they were just uneducated people who knew nothing of war, just because they have been raised in a campus or in an environment which were war since they were born. So that's why I'm sure even if somebody is going to advise them, they can't leave their actions which they have been following for years, because they have been raised in such campus. They don't know exactly what in the world outside them is going on.
Mr. Rahmatullah Khan, what's your message for the leader of the world for peace in Afghanistan? Can you say shortly your message?
So I want from the United Nations and the communities which they can help us, from the human rights nation. So if they can help us to get the level of education in Afghanistan to increase its level, because if the people of Afghanistan will be educated, the new generations come up with better ideas, and with educated people, I'm sure there will be no war again, there will be no discrimination, no problem at all, and everybody is able to live peacefully together in a country. So if, for example, people like me, children, if they can find the circumstances to study, to get education with a better system and facilities, so they can come up with the best and brightest future in the whole world. They can even shape not only Afghanistan, but the whole world. So I want to say that if we be educated, I'm sure everybody's going to put hands together to form this world and make it a better place for living. Because as Albert Einstein said, that if human beings use a millionth of their brain, I'm sure today the earth had another definition. So that's why if we be educated and we use from our brain, so we can have the brightest future of all in the whole world. So I want from everybody who can help us that they should make sure that everybody can stay on track and get the education they need in Afghanistan, and that's the only way which we can end war in Afghanistan.
Thank you. Can you say your message for the people in the world who helped Afghanistan in another language, Deutsch or another language? If you say something, the message I will share for the people.
So, ja. Als ich schon gesagt habe, ich bin sicher, dass wenn wir in einem Land leben, wir müssen alle gebildet werden. Wenn alle in einem Land, fast alle sind ungebildet, ich bin sicher, dass wir gar nicht entwickeln können, weil sie unwissend und ungebildet sind und wissen sie nicht, was in der Welt weitergeht. Und darum, wenn sie auch behaupten, Schüler und zum Beispiel gebildet sind, dann können sie gar nicht entwickeln. Wenn diese Menschen fähig sind, eine Schule oder bessere Uni für diese in Afghanistan entwickeln oder erhöhen oder zum Beispiel leisten, dann ich bin sicher, dass auch Frieden entlang wird auch entwickelt werden und können wir eine sehr leuchtende und helle Zukunft in der Zukunft haben. Darum, ich möchte sagen, dass wenn in Afghanistan, wir können nur zusammenkommen oder wir können nur Frieden haben, wenn wir alle Menschen zusammen wohnen und mit Frieden. Und sie müssen nicht zusammen kämpfen. Krieg ist nicht der Weg zum ein besseres Leben. Wenn wir erfolgreich sind, dass wir einander akzeptieren und wir müssen selbstständig versuchen. Wir hatten Krieg seit ich geboren bin, aber seitdem habe ich noch nie gesehen, ob sie zum Beispiel erfolgreich sind. Die beiden, zum Beispiel auch unsere Regierung und Taliban, sie können gar nicht entwickeln, wenn sie nicht zusammensitzen und über einen spezifischen Titel, die Frieden ist, sprechen. Und darum müssen sie zusammenkommen und ein Ereignis nehmen. Krieg ist nicht der Weg zum Erfolg. Wir müssen diese Gewohnheit verlassen, um eine bessere Afghanistan zu haben oder ein besseres Leben.
Thank you so much. بسیار خوش شدم رحمت الله خان که پیام خود به زبانهای بین‌المللی مطرح کردی و آیدیایی را که در سر داری راجع به صلح و پیامی که بر رهبرای فعلی افغانستان داشتی مطرح کردی. امیدوار هستم با ما فکر و اندیشه ای هستی که یک روز رئیس جمهور افغانستان شوی و صلح را در اینجا خودت برقرار بکنی. انشاءالله میشی. امیدواری و اعتمادی به نفس، تلاش شما را انشاءالله میرسانه. با عزت باشی. تو که بخیر رئیس جمهور شوی، ما باز رعیتت میشیم و بسیار میتونیم در صلح و ثبات در زیر حکومتی پرچم حکومت شما زندگی کنیم. با عزت باشیم. تشکر. بخیر باشید از صحبت.